Yes, yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. Bring you the news from around the boxing world. Okay, so let's get into it. Dillian Whyte has said on Talk Sport that he is willing to accept the offer made from Matchroom, headed by Eddie Hearn. Okay, I don't know how to feel about this, but let's listen to the man himself.
I know when Eddie wants a fight. I know when Eddie's interested in a fight. When Eddie wants a fight, he calls you, he bugs you. Let's get it on. What can we do? Where's the number? What can we get the fight on?
That was in response to a question by Simon Jordan.
Would you
We've had one email, and we haven't spoken to Eddie in 1 month.
Okay, Eddie made the offer, and then they haven't spoken in a month, apparently.
No, Dylan, they have made you an offer. There is an offer in principle, isn't there?
Of course, they made an offer. I never denied it. I said that. I want to fight AJB 100%.
As it stands at the moment, is that something you would accept?
100%. Of course I would. Of course.
Well, would you accept that offer, Dillian? Like, as it stands at the moment, is that something you would accept?
100%. Of course I would.
Dillian Whyte says 100%. Of course, I would accept the offer. That's interesting. Well, Dillian's team already have the offer. He says Eddie Hearn hasn't got back to them in a month. So therefore, if Dillian is saying that he would accept the offer, the ball has been in his court for 1 month. So why has he not accepted the offer? And I think what Dillian's actually saying is that if there's not going to be another offer, an improved offer, then he will accept the offer as it stands. That's what he appears to be saying. Otherwise, if the offer was acceptable, why would he not have accepted the offer a month ago? So, have Talk Sport cornered Dillian Whyte? Have they got him in a corner and done Eddie Hearn's job for him? Let's have a listen.
So I want to fight AJB 100%. You know.
So the offer that's put on the table right now that they sent to you, which they haven't replied further correspondence, you would accept that offer, yeah?
That 2 seconds ago.
He said, Dillian Whyte said, I've just answered that 2 seconds ago. Let's listen keenly though.
So the offer that's put on the table right now that they sent to you, which they haven't replied further correspondence, you would accept that offer, yeah?
That 2 seconds ago.
He said, I've just answered that 2 seconds ago. Okay. So have Talk Sports. Have Talk Sports cornered Dillian Whyte. OMG. Let's have a listen to what Eddie Hearn had to say.
Yeah, I mean, when he said we never went back to them, we made them an offer and they came back. I think the exact words were it's unacceptably low and nowhere near what they'd be looking for the fight. So we didn't really go back to them.
Okay, so they made the offer. Dillian Whyte's side said what they've offered is unacceptably low, so we didn't get back to them. Okay, so everything seems to be lining up perfectly, dovetailing. Both parties are saying the same thing.
On that, I went back to AJ, told him, and they said, okay, let's look at someone else.
Boom, boom, boom. If they don't want it, let's look at someone else. Naeem, is there any more?
I woke up this morning to a Talk Sport interview where he said, I accept the offer. So I went straight to his team and said, do you accept the offer? And they said, yes. So I said, okay, we'll send a contract today.
Boom, boom, boom.
So I went straight to his team and said, do you accept the offer? And they said, yes. So I said, okay, we'll send a contract today, obviously.
OMG. Have Talk Sports cornered Dillian Whyte? Have they cornered him? Have Talk Sports done Eddie Hearn's job for him? And will Dillian Whyte live up to his statements on Talk Sports? Because he did go on to say, well, there's little things, little percentages, this, that, or other, little auxiliary things that would need to be ironed out. So has he actually accepted in full? Or can the auxiliary issues scupper this deal? Originally, when Eddie Hearn notified the press that an offer had been sent to Dillian Whyte, Eddie Hearn said, well, yeah, we've sent them an offer. They're probably not going to accept the offer, and then we'll take it from there. Meaning to me, they accepted that the offer was low, or would be considered to be low by Dillian, and then there was some wiggle room. We can get that figure high. We find out what they want. We'll see what we can do. But that's not what happened. Eddie Hearn sent the offer and didn't get back to them. So it appears they went in a different direction. Now Talk Sports cornered Dillian Whyte. He said, we'll accept the offer. So where was that back and forth negotiation that Dillian Whyte was expecting, that we were expecting? It never came. So it's an interesting one. It's a tricky one. Dillian Whyte accepting the first offer, which even Eddie Hearn said was unlikely. Where it appears that Dillian Whyte might just be saying, well, listen, I'd rather take the fight and get the opportunity to beat Joshua rather than perhaps never being in position to get that fight again. Sensible move, prudent move, or otherwise. You tell me. Dillian Whyte willing to accept the offer for the Anthony Joshua fight on August the 12th. OMG. OMG. Okay, have your say. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. And we are out.
I mean, obviously, Dillian, it's a difficult situation for you because you want the best deal that you can get and you want to be able to achieve the best outcome because you're a prize fighter.